Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pre-Market News and Views by In the Money Stocks. Today is Tuesday, February 25th, 2014. Thank you all for tuning in. Let's jump right into the charts here. First, we're going to start off today with the S&P 500 E-mini futures. You're going to see that the futures are trading lower by about a point and a half, point and a quarter. Not a big decline, but futures were a little bit lower earlier. They have since come off of their lows. We'll see where they trade out today. These markets are very overbought in the short term, so I would not rule out some kind of a pullback or some kind of a minor sell-off today. But hey, you never know. Sometimes with the light volume, the markets stay resilient. All in all, I wouldn't be surprised really if we finish with a flat type day, not down too much, not up too much, kind of a flattish type day. So we'll see how it plays out all in all. But there are a lot of stocks in motion. But before we get into stocks, I just want to talk about the Shanghai Composite last night. Now, mainland China has been coming under some pressure as of late. Take a look at this chart. You'll see the daily chart. Nobody's talking about this. But the night before, the Shanghai Composite, which is mainland China, was down 1.7%. Last night it was down over 2%. This is a big decline in 4 trading days. This thing is going down rather dramatically, rather quickly. And really, you're not getting a lot of chatter. You're not hearing a lot of talk about it. But I think traders right now need to be a little bit weary or a little bit cautious about what's going on in the Chinese market. Now, last night in Japan, there really wasn't any problem there. The Japanese Nikkei 225 index finished higher because of the stronger dollar yen. But today, the dollar yen is not doing so hot. And I'll punch that chart up for you, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. If you take a look at today's dollar-yen chart, what you will see is that is trading lower today by about 21 cents. If I put that in focus on a 10-minute chart, you'll see how this just bounced off double bottom. Hence, when this goes higher, dollar-yen chart goes higher, so does the S&P 500. When the dollar-yen chart goes lower, so does the S&P 500. So that's something worth keeping an eye on today. It's going to be very important to watch that dollar-yen as always. I feel it's one of the most important vehicles that anybody can follow at this time. And I've been saying this for well over a year. CNBC is just starting to catch on to the trick of it now. But going back to December 2012, I've been telling you about this currency pair that you need to be watching. All right, let's get into some stocks here. First off the bat, we're going to start off with Home Depot. Home Depot, I believe, reported earnings. The stock right now is trading at $79.70. It closed at $77.87, so a pretty good little move higher for Home Depot. I do have a level for you to watch today. That's going to be $80.75. If Home Depot gets up here, this is where the stock should stall out, right around $80.75, if I could draw the line in there. Either way, if you're an aggressive trader and you want to short scalp it, somewhere between 80.75 to 81 would probably be your level. That's where this thing should pull back, should stall out. So keep that on the radar today. 80.75 is what I have at the moment. It might be 81. These stocks can have a tendency to overshoot a little bit, especially when they report earnings. But right in that vicinity, that's where Home Depot should stall out. And if you're an aggressive trader, you can scalp short it there. Remember what a scalp trade is? It's just a very quick day trade between 10 and 30 minutes. All right, let's talk about Macy's. I think Macy's is out with some news. The stock is falling a little bit. Closed at 53.06. It's trading at 52.25. Not that big a deal. Macy's does have a little bit of short-term support at around 61.65. So keep that on the radar today. 51.65. That will be Macy's daily chart support. It could give you a little bit of an uptick there, but again, don't get too cute with this equity. If it breaks through this level, it can go a lot lower. So again, that's a little short-term support that I have worked out at the moment. Domino's Pizza, DPZ is the ticker symbol. Stock is catching a pretty sharp bid higher, trading around $76. It closed at $74.69. Do not touch the stock with a 10-foot pole. It is very overbought. It's a fade candidate, but because of the new all-time high, I don't have a great level to short it. So what I would say is just don't buy it. Don't be a buyer up here. This thing most likely will come back down to earth. I think the numbers were pretty good, but who cares about the numbers? We care about the market's reaction. Right now, I think they're popping it to dropping it. When I say they, that means the institutional market makers. So again, watch for this. It's starting out higher, but ultimately I don't see more upside in the cards, unfortunately. Let's take a look at Solar City. They reported earnings as well. Right now, the stock is trading at $77.34. It closed at $78.55 yesterday, so not a big move. So we're not going to be able to gap play this thing this morning. But I will give you a level that I have on my radar, and it's $63. If the stock got down to $63, there would be a play there. That's a long way down from here. I don't know if we'll see that, but if you do, that will be your trade, $63. So again, nothing we could do with Solar City today. It's just not providing enough of a gap for us to make a move on it. If it goes higher, so be it. It goes a little bit higher. I'm not really sure where it's going to go or how it's going to play out. But again, if it got to 63, I would be a buyer there for a scalp trade. Let's take a look at Rio Tinto. I know this one is in the news. I'm not sure exactly what the news exactly was. I can't remember, but I did see it earlier on my news wire. Right now, Rio Tinto, any way you slice it or dice it, is trading lower, closed at $58.75, trading at $57.50. Now, I don't see much upside in this equity at all, so if it got up to around 61, I think it could be a fade candidate. But if it falls today, you're going to watch this level here. The next big level that I see for the stock is going to be $55.24, so there should be some support there. And then it's really down to around $52.25. There'll be a lot more support there. So those are your Rio Tinto support levels. Obviously, the 52.40 is much better than the 55.25, but nonetheless, 55.25 should be at least short-term support. All right, let's take a look at SINA Corp, SINA. I believe, I'm not sure if they reported earnings, but either way, the stock closed at $76.08. It's trading at $72.51. Yesterday, the company said they were going to spin off one of their units that would compete with, I believe it would compete with Twitter, and they're going to spin that IPO off here in the United States. So we'll see how that plays out. But either way, the stock's getting hit today. There's nothing I would do. If the stock got up to 81 and a quarter, I think you could fade it there. If the stock sells off and trades down to around 62.85, which would be double bottom, I think you may get a little bit of a bounce there. Also, the stock has a lot of support at $60 if it does get down to that level. But that's all I'm seeing. It's not a big, well, it's a decent move. I got to say, it is a little decent move, but it's nothing earth-shattering here. But those are the levels I'm watching for. Let's take a look at the Bloomin' Onion, which is Outback Steakhouse, Bloomin' Brands. Right now, the stock is trading at $23.45. I have some levels here for you on this one. Watch $24.43. There's going to be very good resistance. Also $25.10. Both levels, if you're an aggressive trader, can be played for scalps. You're not going to look for a lot of money to be made on this. Just a quick scalp trade could bear you about 25 to 30 cents. So watch for those potential fade levels, 24.43 and also 25.10 if it gets up there. And I think those would be pretty solid. All right, let's go over to the gold market this morning. You're going to see that gold is trading lower by just $1.90 to $13.36 per ounce. Let's go to the GLD, which is a good proxy for gold futures. And what you'll see here, the GLD trading at 128.74. It closed at 128.99. So you're getting a little bit of a downtick, but nonetheless, gold is a bit overbought at the moment. Needs to consolidate, but it's holding up very, very well. Looking at light sweet crude finally coming down. Light sweet crude futures are trading lower by $1.22 a barrel. Right now they're currently trading at 101.61. So let's go to the USO, which is a good proxy for trading light sweet crude, and you'll see that this is down around the 36.46 level. It closed at 36.79 yesterday. So again, a little pullback coming in light sweet crude. The USO is down. Crude futures are down. We'll see where they go. I don't have a great level or setup here, but it is worth noting that slightly overbought on the oil front, and we'll see how this plays out today. Right now, the S&P 500 E-mini futures are trading lower by $1.75. We'll see how this shakes out once the opening bell rings. But again, if the dollar yen can get a bid, All right, and I'll punch that chart back up. If the dollar yen trades higher, remember, futures on the S&P 500 E-minis will go higher. If the dollar yen starts to go lower, futures on the S&P 500 E-mini will trade lower. That's the way it works. That's how it operates these days. That's what you need to know. With that said, everybody have a great trading day, and we will see you a little later on the charts.